Be done. Call us at 473-418-18.
Oh, you're looking for that one little market where you can purchase all your grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look no further. Smart Buy SA Belfast and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Buy.
God, just one life, one more night. Give me just one more night. Hey, coffee.
Wait there.
You on?
1 second.
You on?
Oh, wake up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say. Feeling heavy, you're not alone. Come take five, you're in the zone. Voices come, hearts that care. Two good friends always there. Let the sunlight in your mind. Peace and hope you're sure to find. We'll take CJ and Jester. Talking truth, in pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon, we're holding space just for you. Take a breath, take your time. We're here to be your mind. Take five, you're not alone. See, they just bring you home. It's okay to not be okay. Let's talk it out, don't drift away. Mental health, it matters most, so come in close and raise a toast to the ones who fight each day. To the silent words they never say. You're strong, you're seen, you're truly heard. Got your back, you got our. Good morning.
Good morning, coffee.
How are you?
By God grace, I'm doing good. Good morning, Jester.
He's not here yet. He's coming. He's has had a little bit of a issue, but he's on his way in, so I'm gonna start until he gets here.
Okay,
So good morning, and
okay.
you right ahead.
Yeah, Father, once again, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercies. We recognize that this is the day that you has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. I bring, oh God, this morning, Lord, this mental health program before you with CJ and Jester. I'm asking you, oh God, to guide them as they facilitate this program. I'm asking you, God, to grant them the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding as they educate the public as it relates to mental health. Bless the hearers, O God. We commit all pieces of instrument before you this morning, that each and every one of them will function in the proper way. We ask, O God, to bless each and every one that tune into this mental health program. that they can be able to know how to guide themselves as it relates to mental health. Bless and keep us in Jesus' name. Amen and amen.
So, thank you very much. How are you doing?
Yes. Yeah, by God's grace, I'm doing good coffee. I'm doing real good. And how are you doing?
Yeah. Quite like this, I'm happy as a pig in mud.
You come again?
I say, as they say, I'm happy as a pig in mud.
Oh, yes. Continue rolling, especially when the sun is not hot.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, blessed. So also I'll be standing by to tune in, yeah?
Yes, he's here. So, good morning to him. He made it.
Just say him.
Yeah, just say it then.
Good morning,
Good
Jester.
morning to you, Jester.
Good morning to you, Cocky.
How are you?
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Oh, you look at the shirt.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
Jester,
but
why are
that's
you
for
wearing
me.
same clothes with me? Coffee. Let me tell you, we do not correspond with each other what to wear, but somehow every week we come almost end up kind of looking alike, and I'm not liking that at
Well,
all.
just that's the way forward, man. We call that, man, that, the Bible said that the family that prays together stay together, man. That is teamwork, man. That is teamwork.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. When,
Stop, if you can see it.
yeah, Papa, they say when you assemble, you resemble. That's not bad at all. It's in the that.
Oh my gosh.
And
You see,
when
Jester, you know,
resemble.
like Jester, what wrong with you?
Exactly, man. So I'm standing by to tune in for the topic, yeah?
All right, take care. Talk to you
All
soon.
right, take it.
Bye-bye.
Nice, great, nice, yeah.
How are you, Jester?
I'm good, but let me first apologize for being a few minutes late, man. I have some transportation issues. You know what I'm saying?
City bus?
Yeah. So,
You took the bus?
yeah.
Oh Lord, look at you on the bus. You're on the bus.
You know, man, I didn't take bus. I got right.
Got a lift. Oh, okay. Was it Uber or Lyft?
I live.
A lift. Okay. So did you pay?
Oh, if I get
Well, if you're getting a lift, listen, Lyft is the sister of Uber, So when you call Uber, you call Lyft. You have to pay.
nothing.
You get a ride.
Okay. If you want to put it as that, is
you get a ride. Because Lyft, you have to pay, and Uber, you have to pay. So in that case, you get a ride. Somebody feels sorry for you and give you a ride.
yeah.
That's good. So it is Tuesday. And let us apologize. It wasn't our fault at all. Yes, last week Tuesday we couldn't bring our program to you because there was a fire in St. Patrick, as a matter of fact, Lafayette to be exact. And it burnt the internet line. So we did not have internet from Monday evening all the way to Tuesday night late. So we couldn't bring our program, so we apologize for that, which is no fault of our own, as I said, but we are back today, and hopefully we'll be able to go ahead.
You know why I'm laughing?
Yeah, no fault of our own.
No, not that.
But
I don't know where you get the whole information from or some truck.
No. They said, they said a truck
Right.
hit the line. Wasn't it? That's what one of my neighbors said, that an excavating truck hit the line before. But because they're saying, they're saying that the guy said there was no electricity in his building or no gas stuff. So it's think that the fire started from the pole, and that's where the clipping of the wire from the excavating truck came in. So maybe he clipped the wire and it's passing by. I don't know. I just told you what I heard, and it's not concrete. Say it was concrete evidence. So speak and say what you know.
And which no, to be honest, and which leads to a concern I have among media practitioners, yeah. And as I go around and as I sit back and listen to some media entities and some media personnel, I believe it's high time that whenever you're disseminating information, that you be factual about it. Once you're speaking from a point of being factual. So, in other words, if you're speaking from a point of allegation, the audience should know that. The people should know that. If you're speaking with some form of uncertainty, they should know that. But if you're speaking, right, and you're giving the impression that you're certain about what you're saying, and you did not do your fact finding, all right, and you're putting all this information there, especially when you're pinpointing people's name to it. That is not a good thing. And these are happening to some of the people that I expect to know much better in the media. It's just so sad and distasteful, really. I mean, I think you should really desist from such practices. Whenever you want to put in out certain information, because you don't play with. No, 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 and the emotions and everything. It's a very serious thing anytime you have people feeding from off your hands, and information is a very important thing, and you don't do these sort of things. And you must be factual when you're putting out information there. You understand? If you're not factual, you could say it in such a way and say, well, you're subject to correction or them sort of thing. But you don't put all this information on there, especially when you malign people name to it and you know it's not factual. This is the other stuff, that stupidness.
Clear.
Yeah, right.
Pun intended here. So as I said, I told you what I heard. I did not spread that. I told you this is what I heard. Well, we said, okay, then you went down the road and tell me it's a fire that destroyed the place and whatever. I said, okay, yeah, the place burned by fire. Only by fire place to burn on it. So, okay. And then I said, I understand what you're saying, because sometimes we like to be in the first one to know it and spread it when we do not know what the facts are. And I also always believe that if you're going to open your mouth and say something, make sure it's the truth that you're saying and not something that you made up yourself or hearsay. Because what I notice when something happens, everybody has a story of what it is that happens, and none of it is truth. That's why I say leave it to the officials, or leave it to who has the know and the why and the how to say what it is, and then you take it from there. So let's move on and say good morning to Olavachi Bonjourno. Good morning to Williams Broadcast, that's 107.5 with Grenada. Good morning to Kathleen Ledlow. Good morning to Lorna Bain. She has checked this. She says happy Tuesday to all the Take Five family. And Jester, it's you again. Good morning to who?
My boy Bush. We spent a very long time on the phone last night. Yeah. So we didn't really have that sort of talk for such a long time.
Okay.
It really was a pleasure. And as a matter of fact, you should be tuning into the program
Today?
this morning
Oh,
in
you should
particular.
call.
Yeah. Oh, I too. Yeah, that's the next name,
You
man.
see,
Alistair
he
Dugo.
went back, yeah?
Yes, it's back. Wayne, Ted John,
Hmm?
and the Moose Bartholomew.
Is he back or is he still here?
I think he's back. I think he's back. I haven't seen him. Once you're not seeing it, because when they are here,
No,
you
see him
you
everywhere like
once you pass
cockroach.
through the street or something, they are very much
You
visible.
see that, yes.
Yeah,
So
certainly,
what you say, and the most, she says I to you says the forest. You still have more?
Oh yeah, Mrs. Glean, the
Oh.
Glean family out there in Boston.
And?
Yeah, such a wonderful family, man. Oh, yeah. Talking about the family, it's the Glean family. Speaking about the family in Hill Street. Oh, Celia and Company. Good morning, Mr. Robinson.
And my friend Harris, I haven't seen her for a while. You know, every time I make a presence, or somebody say, "Well, you're here." And I said, "I'm here." But we don't see you. I said, "There's no need to see me." If there's no need, there's no need.
You're no longer on the front line.
No, I like why I am taking a back seat. I take a chill feel and I'm chilling.
We used to be there, used to be in the front.
Yes, because I was making my fashion statement, but I'm no longer. I'm still making my fashion statement how I want to, but not there. So yeah, but people, when I go in something, sometimes I pass through and something. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you for a while. I said, I know, but where have you been? I said, where I'm supposed to be, in my clothes. So you finish saying good morning?
Yeah, I think, Claire in my home.
Yes, good morning to you, Claire, my namesake. I hope everything is A-okay. And let me also say good morning. If they said once you're president, you're always a president, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Once you're a policeman, are you always a policeman?
So too.
Okay.
A scout. A scout as well.
And
That was one of the route of scout. Once a scout, always a scout. Well, I guess that's good.
Take it. Oh, let me say good morning to Mr. Derek Pancho, Inspector Pancho. Hope all is well. It was great seeing you last week. You're looking good. Enjoy your vacation or your staycation. And remember, practice those dances, because when I see you're going to be, wait, I'm taking you on. I'm teaching you to do salsa, to do Latin dancing, So when I see you,
There we go.
Jester would not take practice because you know that I am way better than, but
But that's it. So let me say good morning to Marlon Klein, Faithlin Hallie Douglas, Bernadette Abraham. Coffee in the morning, good morning to you again. Daphne Dayton family out there in Toronto. Good morning to Hill Street people. The Glen family, good morning. NP, good morning. Mona Bain online, good morning. Mary in Toronto, that's Chance the Game 97. Junior out there in Granditan. Good morning to Mr. Nicholas Snag. Good morning to Kenro. Good morning to Pat Pay and family out there in Paraclete. Good morning to Mr. Williams at Williams Broadcast. Good morning to you. Good morning to Mamouche in the lane over there, the horseshoe lane. We got a new name. You know, yesterday I'm naming the streets in Grenada right now. I think there is as far as River Sally. They have names of places. Like, you know, in Grenville, they have Centipede Lane. They have True Blue Avenue in, what do you call that place? Telescope.
Riverlet Lane.
Riverlet Lane. And so,
Yeah.
so we have a lane over there, you know, when it goes through by the Pavilion Annex.
Yeah.
That lane is like goes there and it goes around and come over and quickly.
Yeah.
So we are vying for them to call it horseshoe lane.
Horseshoe Lane.
You know the horseshoes should like go around like that, two ends open and stuff like that. So while here
So the residents of
we are
around.
yeah, they're thinking about calling it horseshoe lane because it's shaped like a horseshoe. I mean, we're trying to be unique and so here we are dubbed. Do you know what we are dubbed inside here?
No.
You have lots of pins.
Yeah.
And then we have lots of planes. I don't know.
Oh God, that is a joke of the year.
Came up with that, but it seems as though we are rich people living in here.
Lots of it.
Lots of planes. So I mean, I said, let me tell you, I said, what I eat is green bananas and blah blah and plantain and coconut oil, and so I have no money. Do not look at me as though I am rich because I'm up here lots of planes. And I'm like, what? So we're not gonna call it here. I don't know what you call it here. But this is what they do inside.
Inside of it,
Inside of lots of planes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Like people have, I mean, people think and they get creative with their things, but I like horseshoe lane over there. And let me also say good morning to Kathleen Ledlow. She's already on. Royal Charles Alexander, good morning. Hope you're feeling better this morning. Joycelyn Noel. Antonia Francois, good morning. Good morning to the crew, staff, members, students, everywhere under what?
Under the cashew tree. Yeah, you know they're building a shed there. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be bigger. They have a big telephone pole put up and everything. So the university under the cashew tree, students, staff, dean, assistant dean, everybody. Good morning to you guys. Good morning to, let me say, Anne Bernard. Good morning to you. And also the radio man. Paula, Sharon, and Mama B. Good morning to you. Sherry out there in Maryland. And Wendy out there in Toronto. Good morning. And Chancey Game 97 has checked in Jester. So we have our regulars and we say good morning to everyone that is listening to us here on the mental health program, which is called Take 5 with CJ and Jester. So Jester, football is finished. Sports is kind of finished, yeah? Carifta and everything gone. But we're looking forward to the games in Tokyo, so that's a little way away. So what is on the agenda?
No, GF is supposed to be opening its season this weekend.
What?
Yeah, the Premier League.
Football?
Yeah.
So what are you playing in place?
Yes,
What are you playing over there is what? Not football?
I didn't.
That was closed season?
I-
You're practicing or
I
something?
did not say that. Well, I know some practicing have
No,
been
I
taking
know when
place,
they're practicing and when they have uniforms.
but the thing about the GFA season, it's almost like passing the baton, meaning that it wasn't too long while it has ended and it's already ready to start
So it's
again
like
already.
preparing
Yes,
season.
so
Okay.
that's it.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, so that's it. Sports is still in here. And my next question, did you get a response from the powers that be about the facilities in the park?
Planes?
Yeah. No, not planes. Lansapien.
We're not yet, but take your time now. Gosh, right. Take your time now. Oh my
Everybody
goodness
gets a bit
gracious.
of the action and planes is still lagging behind. The good people are criticizing, the good people are
Now that you make it,
planes.
now that you make it known it's Lancer planes, I believe you'll get some quicker attention.
Well, because we don't really need attention. We need stuff to happen. Like here, you see the road here, Jester, that we drive through, right? And you mentioned to me, Claire, it's not every time I want to come by you and drive my car, parking by the side road because that road here going to damage people's tire, which is true. When we're driving out of here, it's like we're reading a map, like GPS to know where you drive because you're going to be holes and everything like that. There are a lot of elderly people, rich elderly people living inside here. You get it? So, what am I saying on the place?
Remember, you are saying.
No, it's a joke, people. We have elderly people living in here, and a lot of them are not walking because of the road situation. And I know they have projects around the place that they're going to do roads here, and they're going to do roads here. And we're not hearing anything about inside here.
And I know you have been clamoring for it. Yeah.
Oh, I've been. I've asked the representative, and she said, "Oh, nobody came to see you." I said, "That's why I'm talking to you. No one came."
The representative and is she?
Well, the representative for the MP.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you have to make yourself clear, very clear. Your name is, and I know your name is Claire. So you have to be careful with what you say.
I'm representing Mr. Cornwall for this things. I spoke to her and she said before the budget was read, and she said after the budget they'll let me know. So I saw and I said, "Hey, budget is read. What gives?" And she said, and she said, "Oh, we're gonna be coming to you." And I saw again and I said, "Road." I'm just giving her instruction. Road. She said they didn't come to you. I said, "No." She said, "Okay, I have to see what's going on." And I wanted to see what's going on because it is not pretty.
Yeah, it's gotten worse.
It was, and when it rains, the water that comes from wherever, and somebody told me that we have a lot of springs in our area here. So the water comes down, it gushes really, really heavy and damages the road more. So my thing is, hear what my thing is. If you cannot do it, you do not have the manpower, we are willing and able, give us the material.
Okay.
Give it to us.
Fair enough.
And we will do it ourselves because
I think that's really, really, really good.
Yes. I mean, because you see the community in Plains, when things happen, everybody comes out and get their chainsaw and they water, they rake and they do things because this is our place that we are living, right?
Yeah.
So if you cannot find the people to take on the project, give us the material and we will take on our project ourselves. And then we'll know that we did it ourselves, so we're going to take better care of it. I don't think there is room to build any houses in here again, so the big trucks don't have to come in here anymore and help mash up what we already have. I cannot even wear my high heels when I'm stepping out of Jester. And you know I like to walk tall. I have to take out, wear my little driving shoes or my thing, walk through there, and then it is not pretty. Do something for us inside here. And when they call us Lancer Plain, Jester is not only in here, it is the whole of place because people pass and they say, "Oh, there's so much big houses in Plains and stuff like that." And I'm like, those people make their big money in America and they have to come and build their big houses. So what's your issue? You understand? So whatever. But we need the road. So just this morning, are you one of those people?
Or double check?
Yes, and we double check on everything. The people that check the topic this morning, are you one of those people who check the locks and everything around you? Psychologists have something to say about us. But does that? So we'll go into our talk. And by the way, did you all hear a new theme song? Let me play it for them to hear just and then we'll go into it. We have a new theme song. And let me say thank you to my adopted son. The 6 feet 4, yeah? Right. Last week, the week before, I'm there doing my stuff and I saw an email from him with something. I cannot pick it, but I didn't hear. So when I got home, I opened it up and this is what I heard. Oh, wake up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say. Feeling heavy, you're not alone. Come take 5, you're in the zone. Voices calm, hearts that care. 2 good friends always there. Let the sunlight in your mind. Peace and hope you're sure to find. We'll take with CJ and Jester.
Sounds good, right?
In pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon, we're holding space just for you. Take breath, take your time. We're here to be your mind. Take five. You're not alone. See, they and Jester bring you home. It's okay to not be okay. Let's talk it out, don't drift away. Mental health, it matters most, so come in close and raise a toast to the ones who fight each day, to the silent words they never say. You're strong, you're seen, you're truly heard. We got your back, you got our word. Oh, take five. CJ and Jester,
A little sick for you.
fucking truth and pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon. We're holding space just for you. Take a take your time. We're here to take the night of long. See, they and Jessica bring you home. Laugh, we cry, we share the ride. No judgment here, just love and light. You've got a place right here to stay. So take five and heal today. But take five with CJ and Jester. Talking truth and lifting pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon. Big space. Just for you. Take a breath. Take your time. We're here to make your mind. Take your home. See, they invest in you. Oh, oh, oh.
Well put together. Trust me.
One team song. And let me tell you, every time I hear it, I just go into my dancing bed. I mean, just fancy song helping him out here. And the person that did it, he took parts of all the program, most of some of the programs that we did, and add it in and create a song, and then send it to another person and have it produced and send it back to me. Let me tell you, I was so tickled pink when because I wasn't expecting it. Tears came down my eye, and I'm like, my son got my back and he's going to do anything to see us succeed, Jester. So you say good thank you to my tall son, which is Wonder Joseph, aka, how you call him again?
To go.
To go. Yes.
That's the man.
Yes. Thank you, Kat. It is a lovely song, and it's
Yeah,
all
well
about
put together.
it's all
Well
about
put together.
talking about mental health and what it
The
is.
number of people I shared it with, the feedback was very, very positive about it.
Oh, when I get it, I went. I was like I spread like butter. All everybody that I know, I said, "This is our new team song," and I was so touched, honestly, that I had to share. So today we're going to be talking about: Are you one of those who double check the locks and everything around you? So here, what psychologist has to say about that. It says, from a serene ambience of a spa to the bustling energy of a city street, the environments we find ourselves in profoundly shape our thoughts, emotions, and actions, often in ways we may not even realize. This invisible force, known as psychological settings, is a powerful influencer of our mental state and behavior. It's like a silent conductor orchestrating our experiences and reactions without us even noticing. Imagine walking into a dimly lit room with soft music playing in the background. Your shoulders instantly relax and your breathing slows. Now, picture yourself in a crowded area during rush hour. Your heart rate quickens and you might feel a tinge of anxiety. These contrasting scenarios illustrate the profound impact of our surroundings on our psychological well being. Psychological settings refers to the totality of environmental factors that influence an individual's mental process and behavior. It is not just about the physical space we occupy, it encompasses social, cultural, and temporal elements as well. This concept is crucial in various fields of psychology, from clinical practice to the organizational behavior, as it helps us understand how our environment shapes our thoughts, feelings, and action. The importance of psychological settings cannot be overstated. It is the backdrop against which our mental drama unfolds. influencing everything from our mood and productivity to our relationships and decision making processes. By understanding and manipulating our psychological settings, we are potentially and we can potentially enhance our mental health, boost our performances, and improve our overall quality of life. So, just it is saying the things that we do has a psychological effect on our mental health. And it doesn't always have to be negative, it can also be positive. It says of psychological settings does not just influence how we think, it also plays a significant role in shaping our emotional responses. It's like each environment has its own emotional fingerprints, leaving its mark on our mood and feeling. So, again, what we think, what we do it, how we say it, all that has part to do of what we do. So here is the scenario. Late at night, you're about to settle in. You know you're locked to the front door when you came in, but something compels you to get up and jiggle the knob once more, just to be sure. I have been in that situation too. Have you, Jester? Have you?
Quite a lot of times. Quite a lot of times. And it's best to do that when you're not certain. You go back and then in going back and check, then you feel deep down inside that satisfaction. Yes, I have checked and that's how it should be. So for example, you probably were ironing and you know you're busily getting ready to go out. And then you step out the door and then you check yourself and oh, did I unplug this iron? If you find yourself in that situation, it's best to go right back and ensure that you unplug your iron. I'm not saying switch off. I always say unplug it. Yes. Yeah. You just never know what could end up happening.
He said, so, I catch myself walking back to the door, even though I remember hearing the click. This small moment of caution can say a lot about who we are and how we move through life. So here are the things that we value. You value safety above everything. Locking the door once might not feel like enough for you. You crave security, physical, emotional, and psychological. Part of this comes from a desire to eliminate any possibility of harm. Your mind prefers certainty over chance. They might confirm appointments twice or reread emails before sending them. I've done it too. That's the person that I got it from. I've done it too. I haven't missed a crucial detail. With door locks, your mind quietly insists better safe than sorry. You might see it as the smallest investment of time to prevent a major headache down the road. And truthfully, that sense of security is a small gift you give yourself. Ain't that right?
That is so correct. And what I realize now, the topic, kind of broad base a lot of situations or circumstances. You understand? So, for example, as we are saying, when I talk about the media, you need to check, recheck, for many times to ensure that is what you want to send out. Because guess what? When you send this out, it's like a bullet that fire. You cannot pull it back.
And you know what I like? What it says here: better be safe than sorry. That's one thing. But it's like you're trying to feel safe to know that your door is locked.
Yeah.
I told you one morning a few months ago. I was here by myself then. My mom wasn't here, and I know I pushed the door, but I did not. I didn't think about whether I locked it or not. I pushed it and I went to the kitchen, and then I thought it was closed, or I thought I locked it. Someone is calling. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Hold on one second. Let me put you on task again.
Sure.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, you hear me clear enough?
I'm hearing you clear as crystal, my name included.
Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful. And very, very, very good topic, Claire and Jester. And we
Thank you.
also have to remind ourselves that most of these things that we do, as Jester says, always good to check and counter check to make sure that everything is okay. And we could never tire making sure that everything is okay. But it still boils down to all depends on the environment in which we live in also. The environment plays a very active role in that. And that is the reason why we think that we also have the fear that step in. You understand? And that fear will drive us so mad to believe, hey, check this is okay. Yes, you close the door. Yes, it is all right. I could remember that good friend of mine in character who died now. She's going to Hillsborough. She live over a hill. She locked the door, come down, open her gate, standing on the side of the road, waiting for the bus, and she will run back for 3 times to turn the same lock that is already locked to make sure it is locked and come back down to take the bus. And once the bus was coming down, and then she said, "Give me a second, please," and run back to make sure that it is properly locked. And that is also could be that also could be very dangerous. All depends on how you apply it to your mind and to your brain. Because, for example, that is the reason why we have so many people who build beautiful houses, and become a prisoner inside your own house because each and every doors and windows are burglars proof. You understand? Because of that fear, you want to make sure that everything is okay. But what happened? With all the make sure, you want to make sure that everything is okay, and it build that fear. You will surprise to know with all the check and counter checking you check, something happens so simple, Richard didn't look at it. Because while you're making sure that the front door is closed, you understand? And you make sure that you clock and click and clock, you forget that the back kitchen door has been opened and the intruder passes inside and comes in. So that is a fear. So I could remember in short that this lady that had a dream that she died in a plane crash, and she decided, hey, I will never ever drive in a plane. But she still died in a plane crash, even though she was not on the plane. She died in a plane crash still because it was coming to Christmas when she got the dream. And then she went down, and then she bought a nice little plane for her son, the little toy plane. And he was playing with it on the step. And then he left it there. He went inside to take his lunch. And then she was in the laundry, and she took the clothes in the laundry basket, and was going down the step. And she didn't see the metal plane there. And her foot just hit on it. She fell right down and break her neck. Plane crash. You understand? So we have to be so fearful. You understand? So I rest my case there until I come to phone again. All right. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me this. Like, what's happening? Like I hear this wind pouring through it. It was raining. So I got up. I'm like, what is that noise? I come to like still on top part of the stairs and I pick up. So my door wide open.
Yeah?
Wide. So I'm like, okay, Claire, how are you dealing with that?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I did not lock the door and I pushed it so but it did not click properly.
Yeah.
So the wind, it was raining, I said, and wind, and we just pushed it over. So I came down. I watched out. So what should we do?
That's from a fear coming down.
Well, I
Yes, we'll create some wrong.
just there, coming down. And so I went to the kitchen. I closed it, or I didn't close it. I left it open. I went to the kitchen. I looked, I said, there's nobody here. I opened the laundry, looked through, no one there. The bathroom here, I opened and said, okay. So I went and I closed it, and I went back upstairs. And then in my bed, I'm like, Claire, that doesn't happen to you. What happened there? And it was just my mind was really not on locking the door. And there are times I don't lock the door because I'm feeling safe, to be quite honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel safe in my environment. So I'm not paranoid to just every time I come in, lock the door. If I'm here by myself, and and I think maybe I'll lock the door, depends on what I'm going to do. If I'm going upstairs to do stuff and I'm not coming back down in a hurry, I could do. But then again, as I say, you have cameras and you have a dog. This one did a bite me the last time. He let me know that somebody is coming. So I'm not really fearful. But as I say, we do these things and we lock, and as Coffee says, sometimes you lock your front door and you sleep on right wide open, your back door open, and somebody coming. So it happens, and this is why it's saying that do we double check? That's the topic. Do we double check everything every time before and everything around us? It can make us paranoid, but also it can keep us safe.
But I would say for things that can cause fire and them kind of thing, electric fires on, gas, so things like the cookers. Ensure that your stove is totally off before you leave. Things like the irons, the electric irons. Ensure, yeah,
with the lights and
yeah,
sure
yeah,
that's a
you
killer.
know,
Yeah.
these sort of things you must ensure that they are off while you're out of the house.
And it talks about here, Jester, when you think that you value, you make an appointment, and sometimes you think that, okay, did I have an appointment today? Or you check to make sure that yes, your appointment is that date. Or you call to confirm, yes, did I say I'm coming or so? Or you get an email. Because sometimes we get emails and we just scan through and we miss really, really important points in that email as to say, they will say to you, do this before you come to us, and they just glide over that. And when you get there, they say, but we said to do. Oh, I didn't see that. So that's what she's saying here. If you value everything, your safety and everything, read, make sure you got what it is that you're talking about.
And these days, much people don't keep personal diaries. I know in times gone by, a lot of people used to keep personal diaries, everything that they intend to do or whatever appointment that is been written.
I use my calendar. If I have an appointment, I'll write it on it so that when like the month of June, if I have to do something, I write the dates. And so when I glance through, I know that this is so. There's certain things in your life just that you do because you have practiced doing it forever. It depends on the environment that you work in. You will get to practice these things because there are times that you have to do certain things for your department or where you're working, and then you have to have that written list, otherwise you will forget. So I've learned to write things down that I don't forget what it is that I have to do, unless somebody says something in passing, and I just say, okay, and because I'm not interested, and then I forget about it. But things that I really need to do, I do put it on the calendar.
But Klein, where I come to realize that keeping personal diaries are very important. I remember when CJ died, because CJ's death was kind of sudden, you should say. It was sudden. Because he wasn't like sick in bed and the way things had transpired, and he just died. And but he used to keep that diary in his library. And it's after they going through that diary, you realize that certain things that happen. For example, certain business deals, probably we loan people monies or all these was able to was able to be seen, which is his children, his son and his nephew weren't aware of.
And the thing is, sometimes you lend somebody a large sum of money and no one else knows about it. And they say, oh, I don't have to pay back that money. But when you make note of it, you will
that's it.
Know
so
that
that
on the line to
I realize how much the kind of information that they weren't aware of at all. They were able to
They want to need to know basics. So
then I realized, you see, what than that was. Yeah.
So here's the next one. You are detail oriented by nature. A friend once told me, you never overlook a thing. And it was one of the biggest compliments I've received. If you're someone, you get what it is, right? Like I say, Jester, you never overlook anything. So that's what a friend told her. You never overlook anything. And she said it was one of the biggest compliments she received. If you're someone who double checks the door lock, you're likely to notice tiny details that others brush past. A faint noise in the kitchen, a slight creak in the floorboard, or the exact position of your keys on the hook. These nuances don't escape your attention. In fact, you might find that you remember specific times you locked the door but still verified. You often catch spelling mistakes or overlook aspects at work. You're the person who points out minor inconsistencies in plans or schedules. The level of detail oriented thinking can make you an excellent planner, but can also feed into overthinking if you're not careful. Staying aware of this tendency helps you harness it for good, like preventing slip ups, rather than letting it become a constant source of self doubt. So, hear what it says. You hardly overlook anything.
You don't, you double check things. You hear a creak. Like when I hear the door, when I hear this noise downstairs, I knew something was not okay here. So I got up and so I put myself in that bracket here that she's talking about. And that makes you a good plan because you see, you don't let things go by chance. You do everything in a way, in an organized way. So if something goes wrong, you will know. And I told you that before when I was working in trade shows. I had a boss, and he always takes people to my desk and say, "Do you see she keeps her desk?" And I said, "Well, yes, like nothing, like you don't walk on that desk." And he said, "Let me show you something. I'll move something, and I'm betting you when she comes, she'll tell me. She'll ask who was at her desk." And I said, "Oh, nah." So he moved my thing. I have my staple in a kind of way. I put my things in kind of order. They sync. So when I went the morning, and he was waiting for me in his office, listening to it, and I said, "I was at my desk," and everybody, "No, we didn't see anybody go at your desk or anything." I said, "Yeah." They said, "Well, how would you know?" I said, "That's not how I left my staple." And he says, "Claire, you're OCD." I said, "No, I'm not. I just know how I left my stuff." So then he came out, he said, "I told her, she would know. Anybody moves anything when I put it. Just that I could stay wherever. I could stay in Canada and say, Jester, go to my place and look there and you'll find that."
Well, yeah, a lot of times you send me and get stuff here for you already. But and I love it that way because that is how I am sort of grew up to because in growing up in Mount Craven with my granduncle wife, it was just me, growing up there as a youth man at that time, and then she and the husband. So when I have my things, I know exactly where to go and find it. And Claire, my debt is when I have my thing, and I don't mind, right? Somebody could go and use it. But if you do not put it back where you get it, man, I'll go nuts. Yeah. That's
It's like that.
yeah.
Go to somewhere
Nuts.
just
Yeah.
Candy's past. Just as a Candy's past. And I said, "Can you move thing from there?" "Oh, Mama was busy." I said, "Well, stop being that busy and put it where you get it." Because you just leave it, and sometimes when you go for it, it's not where you put it. It takes time to put it somewhere, she got whatever she wants, and she leaves it right there.
And do you know that when if you have it right here at this point, and they put it, let's say, maybe just about 4 feet away, 5 feet, I still do not see it. That's the thing.
Where you left it.
And then they will say, well, you don't look, but
I don't
come on,
have to look. I
put
know
it back
it's
where you got it. It's as simple as that.
So it says your personal points of minor inconsistencies in plans or schedule. I don't know if I'm that bad, but maybe I am. I'll find out things and suggest that this is not where this has to go. You have to do it this way. And it's not that I'm controlling the things to say you do it my way. But when you're doing something and you have a plan, as you know, I always do, I plan and then I execute. So when you have it there, you do this, the next step is that. And when you go and you see, well, no, something is missing, it sends you off the
Yeah, well, it's a matter of being organized.
Exactly.
All that is part of personal organization
That's
within
right.
you.
And I'm detail oriented. You know that about me. And I always sit and you say, "Well, Claire, I said, leave me alone." This is who I am, and this is my life is structured, and I am okay with it. So far, it has served me well right through, and I'm trying to. Well, I can't try to get anybody else to be like that, but this is who I am, and I know people have issues with me because I am like that, but it works for me, and I'm not pushing it on anybody. I'm pushing it on me. So this is why I say you are detail oriented by nature. It is not something that comes about because just as you say, growing up with our grandmother, we had a schedule of how we do things.
Oh,
You wake up
yes.
in the morning, you do
You had
this, you
to,
do that,
yeah.
you sit there, you
Yeah.
do
It
that.
was a routine.
So
Yeah.
and my whole life was structured
Yeah.
that way. So
Yeah.
it's just that I just went through it just like that right through my life. And as I said, it's working for me. So I'm okay. I'm not changing anything. They say if it broke, no fix.
Exactly.
All right. So here's the next one. You embrace personal responsibility. Double checking the door lock at its core can be a sign of taking personal responsibility. You don't want to shrug off the possibility of a mistake. You rather own the situation and make sure it is handled. Mark Manson, author of self improvement books, often emphasizes the power of personal accountability. He noted that we experience a deeper sense of control when we assume responsibility for our actions. I appreciate this viewpoint because it is not about blame. It is about it is about empowerment. By verifying a locked door, you show yourself and anyone else who might be around that you won't rely solely on chance or memory. That personal responsibility might also spill over into other areas. You could be the one who steps up for a volunteer work, takes initiative at your job, or proactively solves family conflicts. Double checking the locks is just a small glimpse into a bigger mindset. And it is not only about a lock. We use the lock.
We're just using the lock.
Lock because it is something that we do every time we click and check and double check. Even your car, just when you go, you lock your car, you reach a little distance and you say, did I lock the car?
Yeah.
You go back and you car lock, but you feel a sense of security, And it's not that somebody cannot break your car even though it's locked, They can take a rock and smash your window and take whatever it is that they want. And that's why the police also always says, do not leave anything in your car that can attract somebody to damage your car or vandalize your car. If a beggar or homeless person is really hungry or they want their drug fix and they see some coins in your car, that is enough for them to break your car and take it. So it's not about not locking the door, locking the door. They can do whatever they want, even though you lock it. But it's a sense of peace of mind.
Yeah.
Knowing that
And
you secure
it takes away that mental pressure too. Because that's what it creates when you're not sure. It creates that sort of mental pressure on you.
The number to call is going across the screen is 416. Let me see it again. 416-728-8516. I'm using my personal phone because I'm getting a new phone, Jester. It's going to be here at the end of the month. So we'll go back to the 4041189 phone number. But for now, it's the 416-728-8516 to use the call on WhatsApp if you need to. You can dial straight, depends on where you are. If you're in Grenada, no, you can't dial it straight because it's going to cost you a pretty penny because it's a Canadian number. But down WhatsApp will be fine hearing from you.
You're on phone, you need to have a whole dozen phone.
No, I don't. I don't. I stop it. So I like this part here, Jester, which says they often emphasize the power of personal accountability. Because there are some of us, we do not take responsibility for anything at all in our life. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always not me. I didn't do it. I don't know anything about it. We have to take responsibility and account for the things that we do in our life. Accountability is what it's called. And by it says embrace personal responsibility, that also means that you take into account the things that you do, the things that you say, and own it so that you can make a difference in your life. Good morning. Guess who checked in? Duchess?
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Good morning to you. And thank you so much for checking in. And listen, Lorna is calling. Let's see. Oh, what happened? Lorna just did go away. I think Lorna made a mistake. Call again if it's anything.
She'll call back.
Yes, she'll call back. Yes, so it's personal responsibility. I cannot be responsible for you, Jester. I could in a way, but I have to be responsible for myself. Because if I'm not responsible for myself, I cannot be responsible for anyone else or take accountability for anything that somebody else do if I'm not taking it for myself. It's like you tell your children, do as I say, but not as I do. This is not a good example at all. Yeah. Let's see here. We have to, every time I do this, I have to go do the task. Good morning, Lorna.
Hi, good morning. Yes, I was calling, but I wasn't getting any answer. So
Okay.
I had put down. So yeah. I just wanted to go back to the previous point of being detail oriented, paying attention to details. Now, some people might think that this whole topic is somebody that's suffering from OCD, but we're just really examining one aspect of it. And I do double check the doors at night, especially just before I go to bed. I check all the doors. That's the last thing that I do every night. But when you're known for paying attention to details. You know, when I was working, the belief was that I do not make any mistakes. All my the people there was a lot of you don't make any mistakes. And I said to them, yes, I make mistakes, but I find my own mistakes.
Exactly.
Because I would always go over my work before I present it to anyone. I would double check my work. But they always had this belief that Lorna doesn't make any mistakes. So I think this is one habit that people that are working, you know, employees, take pride in your work, be detail oriented, go over your work, especially in this time when people are relying a lot on the internet for spelling and grammar. I think it will benefit the workforce if more people become more detail oriented. We don't want you to go to the extreme, but always double check your work. And you find that you will be recognized by your coworkers, by your managers, and you will be known for not making mistakes, although you know that you make mistakes, but you take pride in your work. So I think that's a good aspect of this whole topic, be paying attention to details.
Thank you so very much.
Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
You have an next one?
No, let's go with it.
The thing about it, well, I know certain aspects of my job, Claire.
Yeah, you
I can't tell. I cannot afford to make mistakes.
Exactly.
I can't. When I tell you I cannot, at that time when I doing that part of it. So for example, when I dealing with connections in junction box, I take no phone calls. If you come there, you may come around, and you probably might even call me and you don't get an answer. No, I'm telling you, because any mistake you make in there, it's real problem for the sockets. That's one. And if you do it wrong, then when you have to go back and find that fault, man, you don't even want to have to go the pains sometimes you have to go through to find that is just too much. So rather than fear, do all what is necessary to avoid that mistake. So that's why I see certain aspect of my job I cannot afford to make mistakes. Yeah, cannot.
That's no wrong, as Lana says. When you present your work and nobody has to come back and pitch that you and say, do that over, it's not right. I think that is the most, I don't know what the word that I'm looking for, but it's degrading because when somebody gives you a job to do or you're doing a job that you but being paid to do. My thing personally, when I go for the job and it says, okay, Claire, we can only pay you $10 to do the job, I accept that $10. And then later down the road, I hear Jester making $20. I cannot make a big deal about you getting $10 more than me because this is what I accepted. So I, in my thing, have to give 100% in the job that I'm doing, whether I'm getting $10 or you're getting 20, because this is what I think. So I
will be characterized by your job. That's the whole thing.
Exactly.
That's all
So
people realize.
I am going to give my all into what I'm doing because this is where I have to show myself, and maybe by doing that, I may even get $20 later on because they see to themselves, this is not what it is that she really is after the money. She's doing the job that she has to do. You understand? But you see, a lot of us, we always think that this one is making more money and I am not doing that because they pay me less. But this is what you signed up for. Give it your all, your 100%. And by just doing that, you may find that you start off small, but because of the determination that you have to prove yourself to be better, you might be the best person for the company to get a promotion after.
Well, Clay, I'm pretty sure that you heard me say that already. If you're going to do something, you should do it to the best of your ability and do it up to high standards. No sense doing. I would not do no substandard job. I prefer not to. And listen, what? I prefer not to do a job than to do a substandard job.
Yes, and the same like me, if I'm going to do something, I'm giving it my all, and then if it's not when I give it my all, if it's not your all, when I give my all, then that's not my
my problem because I gave everything that I have towards it. So we have to learn to take, as it says, accountability for ourselves in what we do. And it's personal because like we are doing this thing here. And people may think that we are making money doing it. I'm doing it because I'm passionate about this thing. And I know we don't even get paid to do it or so to say, well, okay, just we're making a lot of money doing this. I started off because it's something that I've seen around and how people suffer. And I said,
There's a
just
need for it.
one person I can help. And so I don't want to sit there and think we are making money. I'm very passionate about it, and I know you are the same. And then we come here every Tuesday and we give it all on. We have fun doing it, and so and that's to just make somebody's life a bit easier, to make a few people smile on it. Today is Duchess, her special day. She has lived to see another year, another day. I would like to say, whatever it is that you're celebrating, my girl, do it in the style of which I know you will, and enjoy your day. Not very many of us today can live to be the ages that we are and live to tell about it. There are so many young people just passing out these days because of the lifestyle they live. And people like Duchess and so who takes care of herself and walks and exercise and do whatever it is, kudos to you. Have a great one.
So let me take the opportunity also to extend a very warm birthday greetings to you, Duchess. And may the good Lord continues to bless you and keep you so that you can live on to see many more birthdays to come. Make the best out of it today.
Yeah, she's gonna have a quiet day. And sometimes you just use that day, Jester, to reflect and see where have your life been, where you have your life, where it's going, and where you want to go. And this, I think, it is the best time to reflect because not every day you have this big celebration. Everybody, when they reach, they turn 22, they have a birthday, but they have 22 more. So it loses its steam because that's, like, and, growing up, we never really had this birthday celebration of, we have all this thing going on.
Oh, no.
Sometimes your parents don't even remember it's your birthday. Remember, so not many of us.
You know, we used to get that recognition in the classroom.
Yes.
Yeah, because when they take the register,
and
they realize and they just make mention of it in the class. So that was the most in growing up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say good morning to Alvin Harris in New York this morning and to Spice Ram, the Noise FM in New York City. I know he's tuning into us and broadcasting his
Let me say good morning to Miss Patricia Bissessa. She might just be listening to this program. Yeah.
And a special good morning to JG. You know who you are out in the trace over there. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah. So he says, I talk about enhance and embrace your personality, and we have to learn to do that because just nobody cannot be us but us. People may try to make us to be who we are not, who they want us to be, but this is our DNA. We have to make those changes ourselves because sometimes somebody puts you, okay, you should do this and you should do that, and I'm like, this is not who I am. Let me be who I am, and if you cannot accept me, then mosey on and leave me alone. That's it. I am good. I am good where I am. So that's it. So here, you have a hint of perfectionism. And I think most of us do, don't we? We strive for perfection. We feel no, it's not there.
We try as much that's why I say certain aspect of what you do, you might say, yeah, so you have to puff, perfect it. For want of a better term, you can't afford to make no mistake. Every time you go to deal with that aspect, as I just explained to you a while ago, every time I go to deal with that aspect of my job, dealing with connections, all right, I have to make it perfect. There is no other way of you getting it right. Because if you only just slip, you don't want that pain.
Let me tell you. Yeah. When I read it, I said they're talking about me here, but I would not admit it. You hear that? I would admit it at all. Yeah. You have a hint of perfectionism. I've struggled with perfectionism in my own life, especially in how I keep my workplace tidy. Double checking the door can be one subtle expression of that pursuit of perfection. If something's out of place or incomplete, you feel a little wave of stress until it's fixed. Perfectionists often reject because they want to ensure zero error. It's that drive for flawless execution. A small action, like verifying the door lock, can bring a rush of relief. Greengrass once said, perfectionism is not the same thing as striving to be your best. Her work reminds me that while aiming high can be positive, perfectionism has a sneaky way of creating unnecessary tension. So if you catch yourself being extra cautious, consider whether you are holding yourself to an unrealistic standard or simply ensuring peace of mind. I'll take the last part of it.
Yeah.
I'm taking the peace of mind.
I am agreeing with that as well. Ensuring the peace of mind. That is what it will result to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know me, I do think I don't leave cupboard doors open. I don't because I and my thing is if you make cupboards with doors, there's a reason why there are doors to open and close, yes? So I cannot see myself just opening my cupboard door and just leave it open like forever, all day. It is a danger to my health for one,
Yeah, I know.
and it is not because if my thing is there are people that has stuff and it's just wide open, no doors, so you don't have to close this. But if you're going to build your kitchen cupboards and put doors in, then by all means, when you open it and you take whatever and close it back.
Yeah, I've known of situation where the edges of this cupboard door and then seriously um cause people to get some injury and head injury already.
Let's see here. I have to go to Tascam to get it. Good morning. Good morning. Are you hearing me? I think your TV is
Yeah,
coming
you need to load on the device background.
Are you hearing me?
I don't just say, see me when the guy counting that I will just things
I think, I think she called us by ear. I
She'll
think
call back when
yeah,
she
she
is
called
ready.
us by I think she was
Yeah,
talking to someone and her finger hit my
yeah.
yes. Yes.
The chest.
So yes, so the cupboard door, I seen those hit people in the head. I got knocked out
Yeah,
in mine the other day. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay, you went down, you then you came back
The
up.
edges of this
Yes,
cupboard
and
door.
you can do
Serious.
you can get serious
Serious.
concussions with
Yes.
that because you see
Yeah.
when you are not expecting it and you
Mm-hmm.
get the hardest blow you can get, you see the whole galaxy and then some. So if I am a perfectionist like that, if my cupboards are open and I walk and I see it open, I'll close it.
Okay, you know what I realized without cutting you? Because, you live for yourself. It might be very difficult for you to live with people, especially
true. I'm not only after that.
especially if it's somebody that is somewhat disorganized in the practice.
I do not like this.
I can only imagine what it would be like with you having to cook with somebody.
Don't imagine. Don't imagine. That's why yours should. He's happy and
I can just only imagine.
no, I have to say I live with my daughter because she's one of these there, right?
Yeah.
And when I go home, she says everybody has their ways. I've got two homes. I'm getting best of both worlds. And when I go home to her, and let's see, I say I ain't saying no more. But when she go, I just go to town. I clean like no tomorrow. And she's like, Mom, like yeah. Well, why did you do this? I said, because I got on my nerves and I'm seeing it and I can't deal with it, so I just that's when I go. I'm really did like it. I said, once I'm here, everything is gonna be to my way of thinking. When I go, do whatever you want. Because I have to be comfortable in my space and in my skin. She can do whatever she wants in her room. That's her room. And if I pass and I say, just close the door. But I do, I have to be comfortable. And yes, maybe I may not be able to live with people, but I can live with myself. And I'll tell you why. He will always say to people, oh, my mom made me clean table food and shine table food and so when I'm growing up. I have people that they're living in places together and I said, oh, your son is a freak. And I'm like, what do you mean? He cleans and I'm like, well, yeah, I'm his mama. What do you think? So I go live with him because he has the same sort of temperament as I do when it comes to doing stuff. On the other hand, Candice, we go fly by night, you know. She says, oh, I cannot be like Marx. You always, I said, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. But so you see, I cannot live with people that is not in my, like, it just, I would just walk behind them and just start cleaning as they go like the garbage truck. I just keep picking up things and clean until I get it to my, and I'm not saying maybe I am a perfectionist, maybe I am OCD, and maybe I'm all of the above. But there's nothing that beats when I open the door and I walk through here and I don't have to worry about knocking, kicking anything in my way. And I just walk through and you could come and knock my door anytime. And I said, it's open coming. I have nothing to fear because I am a clean freak. As everybody knows, I put it out there. I clean like I'm going out of style. There's nothing much to it, but I have to keep it the way I want it to. So if that is being perfect, then I'm owning up to that perfection. I am.
It's so a good perfection. It's a good perfection too.
Yes, yes. And as we said, it's not all about the tool look. It's a broader thing that you do. Like you are an electrician and you have to make sure that all the little wires that you put in there, you fix it so when you leave and you turn on the switch, sparks and flying out or anything like that. Or there's no, they put it on and a fuse blow and all this kind of thing. So, because at the end of it all, you are the one that's getting the name. Oh, that Jester, Jester, Jester come and look at me, I almost burned my house and all this kind of thing. So when you're in a profession that you have to be a perfectionist, do it with 100% of your know-how. Because at the end of the day, your reputation is at stake. The person's home is at stake, and it's like a domino effect. When one fall, the whole thing of everything just go down.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we are not saying this to make anybody say that we are perfect or anything like that. But these are little things like Lorna says, that if you're detail oriented, a lot of the things that happen in our lives could be avoided if you're detail oriented or you take responsibility or accountability for the things that you do in your life. Because just the way you think, a lot of us have this thing about, oh, if I had known, and if I had known, I was going to do better, I was going to do this, and if it's the word that we all use because we didn't know. But when you, as I say, you do not have to go through certain things in your life to make the difference in your life. Because you can see what happened to someone but from what they did in their life and make sure you do not follow that trend to avoid what it is that the pitfalls that they had. So you would not say, if I had known, I was going to do that. Take responsibility, take accountability, and make sure that you're on the right track.
Yeah, it's true. You can learn from other people's mistake. You don't want to go down that same road that they have been down to, which have devastated their life.
Just let's take a quick break and we shall be right back. Oh, wake up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say.
Spice up your life, Island Spice, as the Spice Isle Farmers Association, producers of our locally grown spice products, turmeric, ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, cloves, and much more, all of which, when used, promotes healthier living. Our spices can be used in all your cooking and for medicinal purposes. Call today on 1473 533 5472 as the Spice Isle Farmers encourages you to spice up your life. Isla Spice.
At Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418 1845. Sugar's Repair Services, located at Lower Marley, St. Patrick.
Are you looking for that one local supermarket where you can purchase all your grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look no further. Smart Buy SA Balkan and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Buy.
For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. We Noise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. We Noise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
We are back, Jester. We're talking about, are you one of those people who double check locks and everything around you? And it's not only about the lock that we're talking about. It's things that happens in our life, things that we do in our lives on a day-to-day basis that causes us to, or causes psychologists to take note of the things we do and let us know whether it is a hindrance or a blessing to us. It could be a disadvantage or an advantage. So we just spoke about the hint of perfectionism. And I think everyone, not as bad, but that all of us here struggles to be perfect because somebody will think, oh, you think you're perfect. This is what they tell you when you try to say, okay, this is it. Okay, you think you're perfect. No, I'm not perfect. I've never tried to be perfect. But on my end, I know what I'm striving for. And if this is what you look at it as perfectionism, then I cannot change what you believe in. But I will always try to do the best that I can or be the best that I can be. And if that is perfection, well, hello there. I'm here. So the other one is that we practice mindfulness even if you don't realize it. And when it says practice mindfulness, what are we talking about? So it says double checking might sound like the opposite of mindfulness, but there is a different angle to consider. The act of verifying can actually be a moment of awareness, one where you stop, pause, and ground yourself. This is especially true if you find yourself taking a slow breath and asking, did I lock the door? And this is the same that we do all the time, just did I lock the door? Did I turn off the burner? Did I unplug the iron? That's mindfulness. And it says you're verifying that these are the things that you do because your mind is at work now. Mm-hmm. You're asking yourself the question, did I? Did I? And did I? And to get the answer, you have to go back to see if you did those things.
And the thing is, some people find it very difficult to go back, and that sometimes and on that one occasion, probably they think, man, it's too much answer for me to go back there. I ain't going back. Although in their minds, they are not comfortable. They're feeling they should go back, but they find it's hard. And that is where now you had left that that problem, which could result in some form of disaster. Yeah.
It says, according to mindful.org, one of the key principles of mindfulness is simply noticing your surroundings and mental processes. You recognize the subtle anxiety that arises and you respond by checking the log. Rather than ignoring that feeling, you address it. I've integrated small acts like this into my day. They remind me to pay attention to what I'm doing instead of letting autopilot run the show. While double checking might seem like a nuisance, it's often a sign that you're in tune with your environment and inner cues. And I take this 100%. If you find that things are not right, so you get that feeling, eh? And when you
Yes.
get that feeling, do not ignore it.
Yeah.
Do not. Because I always say to you, just my intuition is never wrong. It never leads me wrong. So if I get the feeling of something, I know to myself that I need to delve into it and see what it is and why I'm feeling like that. It doesn't make you less of a person. It says, and again, you always hear your parents or so telling a child, when you're crossing the street, look over which way.
Look up, look down, look up again.
Both ways.
Yeah.
And this is what it's saying when you are there, to be mindful of your surrounding. Because sometimes we walk into things with our eyes wide open and not even see what is in front of us.
Because the thing about it, Claire, is as I say, erasing that mental pressure that you would have. Because if you're not certain that you had turned off the stove or you had unplugged the iron, you will go to work and you'll find that you're not even functioning as you ought to. You might probably making mistake on the job because you cannot focus simply because that shred of doubt, even if it's a shred of doubt that's left in you, it puts you in so much an uncomfortable position for you to really perform your duties to your optimum level.
I know I had a friend that she was driving and she told herself something, she left something on. She just make a U-turn, go back home and check, and she did leave it overnight.
You see that?
Yeah.
But the thing is, even if she didn't leave it on, at least you would have put her in a better position and she can now function freely. That's the whole thing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Double checking erases that doubt in your mind and what would make you have that uncomfortable position.
What I like here, it says, you recognize the subtle. It's not something like jumping out in front of you. Eh? The subtle anxieties that arises, and you respond by checking it off rather than ignoring that feeling you address it. So something is telling you that all is not right in your world at that moment. So instead of ignoring it, say, what happened? No, you go back and you check it to make sure
it's better to check.
It's okay. Yes, because you might, and even though you're going somewhere and you think you might be late, the thing that you do, you make a phone call also and say I'll say, Jester, I was on my way, but something is telling me that I need to get back home and check something. I will be there, but let me go check it for peace of mind. And I don't think you will beat me for late. That time will ridicule me because I called you and I told you what my concern was. Mm-hmm. So I could go back and then come and perform to the best of my ability where I'm coming to you. But if I don't do that, as you say, all day long, I would be, oh my gosh, check to see if there's a fire. Maybe in planes, or check to see if there's a fire, and if it's my house that is on fire, or something of that sort. Because to have that feeling that all is not well.
And I remember my workman whom I worked together with Turkey at one time, he had a situation. So once something he had left home and he wasn't comfortable at all. He felt that he had left, I don't know, I can't remember if it was the stove on or something. And what he did, he called one of his neighbors and asked them to check. I think he would have pointed out where the keys and open it up and to check. And then the person went and they did that and he didn't leave anything on. But guess what? That had put him in a better position of being able to focus, on what he had left home to do, rather than having to think about that uncertainty which he had left home. Yeah.
Good morning, Jenny.
Good for checking in. Jenny just checked in, says good morning. And Kathleen Ledlow says, yes, Jester, that is true. And what she's saying is true is the fact that, you know, like you said, it puts you in a better frame of mind to do the work that you are assigned to instead of just sitting there and you're wondering. Yeah. And people see what you're looking in space and they're like, okay, what's going on? Or nothing. But deep down inside, you feel that everything is not A-okay. So it makes sense to double check. Or if you're feeling that all is not well, do not ignore it. Just go with it and make sure that everything is okay, and then you can leave your house in peace again and make sure your door is locked, jiggle locked to see if it's okay, instead of just it clicks and you don't know if it's closed properly, double check. That there's no wrong in there. And it says it gives you that it reminds you to pay attention to your surrounding, because sometimes just so we walk and things are right in front of us and we don't see it because you see what our mind is far away. We're not thinking about the things around. But if you pay attention, as the police said, when it was after 9/11, when they said, pay attention to your surroundings. If you see something, say something. So there are things that we would pass by and we see it and it doesn't click on us until something happens and somebody says, but you know, I was walking and I did see that thing by the side of the road. But at that time, it didn't mean anything to you. But when they question it and they say, well, I did see that, then they could have said, well, you mean I passed that? That was danger to me and I didn't pay attention to it. And that's why just I've learned to pay attention to everything around me. Even though it's just nothing. It's sometimes you never know when it's going to be something. You pay attention to things around you. Exactly. So you are highly empathetic to others' fears. So like you have a fear, I am empathetic towards you and the fear that you have. So if you find yourself double checking locks, you might also be the person who assures family and friends, don't worry, I locked the door. You sense how others might worry. You want to ease the concern before it even has a chance to surface. Empathy is about understanding someone else's emotional state. By verifying the lock, you're preventing anxiety for yourself and those around you. There is a caring element to that. From my experience, people who are naturally empathetic also tend to offer more reassurance in everyday life. You might be the one who keeps extra blankets for guests to come or confirms everyone has enough to eat when hosting a dinner party. Double checking might just be one of the visible expression of nurturing mindset. Yeah. So if you're empathetic towards people, you wouldn't just pass somebody that you know is hungry and you can feed them and just say, oh, let everyone get food what they want, and then give them that. That's what empathy is all about. You know, someone might say, oh my gosh, I left the house and I don't know sure if I love you, but if I leave, I'm the person that always checking me. Go and say, oh, don't worry, just I locked it up. You have nothing to worry about. I locked it. Right? So it's about putting yourself in somebody else's situation and taking away the fear of that person in how they feel about things. It says your sense of how others might worry. You want to ease the concern before you even have a chance to surface. So before I say, oh my gosh, I don't think I locked the door. You put out a breast from you, say, Claire, don't worry. I could see it on your face, you're thinking that you leave the door unlocked. I locked the door. Because sometimes our facial expression gesture tells a whole story for everybody to read. As I say, some of us wear a hat on our sleeves. Our facial expression could tell whether you're pleased about something, whether you're not, whether you're
something might be bothering you.
Yes, you can tell. So when you know that you're dealing with a person that has that sort of tendency to worry about things, you put their mind at ease by saying, oh, I did that. You don't have to worry. I turned off the burner. I turned off the gas. My sister, if she comes here and we're living somewhere, she goes and she turns off the gas on the cylinder.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
She going to the direct source.
Sometimes, you know, I think when they are like that, my sister is mute. And you know, they have added sense to everything, because when one is done, all the rest of them are kicked up. And there are certain things that she will point out to me or show me. And I'm like, eh? How did she see that? Or how did she, you know, because I think in their field, they teach them everything about safety.
Yeah,
because they cannot
safety.
speak
That's it.
properly.
They cannot. Because they can't really communicate just as normally how you and I will do.
Everything in there is heightened.
Yeah.
So
I can see the reason for it. Yeah.
So she tell me you're stupid, and I'm like, what am I stupid?
So I mean, stupid. What? She told me the gas thing. I said, she said, no fire. Boom, and I said, okay. So I turn it off. And then, so, if she's around here, I could do one lock if I want because she's going to lock it.
Yeah.
The night that she's here and she says to me, is that lock up there? She'll come to me and ask me to come and put it on. That I'm telling you, safety is a big thing of her. And I won't fault of her because she's trying to make me and her safe in our own environment.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So I may not be worried about who I lock the door and I don't care because the dog outside of the cameras. But if they come and do whatever they do to me, they already done it. The camera and the dog is not going to undo what is already done. So she's telling me take precautions by locking myself or locking us inside here and have a modicum of peace while we sleep.
But these sort of people and them they're very particular about when it comes to safety and security. I can tell you that for sure. Because I used to be around them, Yeah, because when I used to work with the Ministry of Education in the maintenance department, so sometime I used to travel with one named Butchie from Victoria. He died now. So they used to be responsible for picking them up on a Friday because they used to stay down during the week.
Yes.
And they'll pick them up on a Friday and drop them off. So I used to be around them. And it's fun being around them. It's really fun being around them.
Yeah. Why? And they all come down on a Friday evening. Mamma mia. The noise and you see only seen hands clapping, fingers flying everywhere. And you know how they clap, eh? Have you ever seen them clap?
Clap.
Mm-hmm. That's how they clap. Their hands move like that. So that's a sign of clapping. Yeah. She told me I learned to tell me you're lying. I know. But stupid is what I get most of the time. Stupid. And I'm like, okay. But since growing up, she also tell us we're stupid. Because like she knows the safety of things and like we're not paying attention to it. So I've learned around her not to tell her that one time she said to me.
So clearly they might be wondering what class of people we're speaking about. So you gotta let
the mute, I said.
The mute. Okay.
Yeah. I told him I said my sister.
The mute is not the same concept as autistic. Are they the same?
No, autism is different.
Oh, okay.
The children that are autistic, they are very, very good at something that they like.
Yeah.
If they like computers, they are genius at computers. Anything that they like, they possess that, you cannot touch them.
Okay.
But they're not, they're high functional.
Mm-hmm.
And people have to look after them a whole lot. They cannot be on their own because I don't know how to explain, but they don't have the normal thing as you and I. With the mute ones, some of them do speak, like my sister can say words, and so I can understand a lot of the things that she's saying, and they can move around and do the thing. People with autism, they're different in a different way. Their brain is totally high functional. Okay. Like they can paint Jester, Van Gogh, and to have nothing on them. They are good, and that's why they say that Albert Einstein was autistic. He was a genius at physics and materialized. Look at the hair in his head. And so they said he suffers from maybe Asperger's, the higher thing of autism.
Yeah.
And he couldn't tie his shoes. Most of them cannot even tie their shoelace or do anything because their brain is really high functioning. And they have IQ up to my eyes and then some. Yeah, they're high functional people. And if they can play the piano, anything that they land on.
Will be at the very best.
Yeah, at the very best.
I get you.
So mute people that people call dumb, which is a really derogatory thing to call them. They are not dumb. They have more sense in their little finger than you and I having a whole.
No, Tom is not at all a way to Tom them, When you check how they function.
I just watch them, but
yeah.
They are mute. They can. Them to a high.
Or maybe you can say they have them speech impaired.
I don't know. Some of them can't speak at all. So, mind you, most of them that are mute, they are deaf and they cannot speak properly. Some of them are deaf in both, and that's why you hear they have their hearing aid and you hear this screeching noise all the time because they have to put it high for them to hear. But let me tell you something. The secret that a lot of people don't know. They can read lips like no tomorrow.
Yeah, that will obviously, I think that would be very obvious. Yeah.
So if I don't want my sister to hear, then I have to borrow
Yes, because they can read lips besides the sign language and
Yeah.
they can read lips also and stuff. But it's an amazing thing to watch them
Yes, I
when
know that
they
for a fact.
and here's the reason why. In all of when you have parliament and senates and
Yeah.
big countries, you always
Oh,
see they
see.
have somebody that is
Yeah.
doing sign language because it is a big thing. My niece in Montreal can do sign language. You hear? She studied sign language, and I remember when she was graduating from St. Mark's Secondary. There's a
That would
girl,
be Andre's
Andre's
daughter.
daughter.
Yeah.
When she was graduating, and there was a girl in school that was mute. And then she asked for her because she couldn't hear, and they pointed out to her and they thought she thought that she was so beautiful. She used all this sign language and so. Listen, I sit down there and I'm bawling now because I'm like, there are things that just make me bawl. You know, when you see when she took that moment to gave her kudos because she's studying dressmaking, like she wants to be a seamstress, and she told off all the clothes that she make and stuff like that. It was just I think there wasn't a dry eye in there when she gave her make sure they did to the new girl because everybody was graduated and everybody could speak and so when she gave her valedictorian speech she said, and there are a lot of them that walk around. As a matter of fact, yesterday when the St. George's and there's one, he paid $1 to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
So I went to the bathroom and it was kind of so. I don't like drying my hands under that heating thing because I think that put out more germs in your hand more than anything else. So I was looking for questions. I mean, no, I've. And then I realized she's new. So I said to her, "Do you know Charmin?" And she asked me, and I said, "Your sister." She said, "Charmin?" I said, and she said, "I said, yeah." She said, "Oh, so."
Yeah, they know each other.
They all know each other because they have this thing every year. The people come from the United States, and so they come and they take them to different places and they give them new hearing aids and they keep them up to date. Let me tell you about my sister. We had a falling out a little while ago, and well, she called me stupid and she swears she calls backward and so to her. And she tell me if she do me anything, the police doesn't arrest her or anything to her because she's deaf. I had respect for her. They know their laws. Work with yourself. Yes.
Yeah, one up on your plate. You have to be very careful.
What? Again, she's deaf before she anything. I'm like, I rest my case. And it's true,
Yeah. Mm, they could get away with more.
That they can answer with.
Oh my gosh.
So yes, we're moving on to the things that makes us perfectionists and responsible and accountable and all these kind of things and perfectionists. That's the people that we are. So here said you hold lingering worries, but want to manage them. Sometimes checking the lock is about quieting a tiny voice that says, "What if you're wrong?" That voice pop up in different areas of life, finances, job decisions, or personal relationships. You are not paralyzed by these worries, but do you prefer to keep them in check? When you double check the door, you effectively minimizing a risk, albeit a small one, and giving your mind the closure it needs. I've noticed that practicing yoga and meditation can has helped me to pause rather than get swept up by anxious thoughts. Instead of telling myself, "Stop being silly," I'll do a quick verification and then move on. It's a balanced approach, acknowledging the worry without letting it spiral. So these are things we can do that too. If we have something on our mind, Jester, and we tell ourselves, "Yeah, don't worry about it." Question yourself, what if I'm wrong? What if I really did leave that stove on, or leave that door unlocked? So instead of saying that, check. And if you're there and you have things on your mind like where your next dollar coming from, the money that I have saved is going to be enough to take me right through. Do some meditation. Meditate and ask yourself, am I being anxious unnecessarily? Or is it legit that I'm anxious? So the thing that we have to is all about what do you call it? It's self-examination. We're psychoanalyzing ourselves to make sure that the things that we are doing is not far-fetched and they don't have to bring us in the pink house. Or we don't have to go see Dr. Spencer. Because when you go to see Dr. Spencer, that's all gone. You know? So these are the things that you have to do. And it says don't let it paralyze you. Don't let it paralyze you with worries that everything you're worrying about, did I have to do? Did I clean this? Do I turn off the stove? Do I unplug the iron? Do everything? Do I? So we're putting ourselves under unnecessary strain. So in that case, once you do it, make sure it's done. So you don't have to go about worrying yourself because again, like you said, when you go places and you tell yourself that you did not do it, you're paralyzing yourself with worry.
Clay, I taken a decision when I was in McDonald College, very, very early in forms. I realized children used to go discussing exam after they did a paper, and I thought, see that? Nah, I cut out that. Because guess what? When you see, you already did the exam, your paper is inside. And when you go discussing this exam with the children, and when you say, that the answer, yeah. And then you just put yourself on a whole thing set up and so I take a stand and say, me, I don't discuss it. No. What go gone? And I'm telling you serious.
Somebody said it right answer, you're kicking it.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I cut out that. And I just prepare for the next paper to come. And that's how I used to do it.
Yeah.
Or else you could put yourself under immense pressure, man, discussing the exam. Because that kind of way. Yeah.
No. Doubt in your mind.
Yeah.
Right? Answer right. But the thing is, you cannot go back.
That's the thing.
Take the paper from the people and say, well, I think I made a pretty wrong answer. Can you give me my paper back? Like pretty right. It's gone. As it says, water under the bridge. Let it go. Just do better. Try to do better on the other one to make up for it. You do some maths there. Yeah. And this is right.
We can go and hold up the invigilator.
Hold them up and give me my paper. Tie them up. It is, yes. I mean, you see the thing about it. When you see, like you said, they discuss the paper afterwards, and then you get to realize that maybe I put the wrong answer. But who said that the person that said they have the right answer is the right answer? That's
exactly.
Who said what they wrote is
causing a whole set of confusion
yes.
within your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you just deal with it the best way you know how, and that's do not let yourself be paralyzed by fear that you did not do this or you did that and it's not the right thing to do. Move along. Just keep moseying on because you cannot change what happened already. So you just how you call it again? Go do it in advance. So do things that you know will benefit you.
Maybe if you do it in advance, like what you're looking forward to come, is that. But going back and discuss the paper that have already been done, no.
Yeah, it's like saying you did something like, okay, you make a lie on someone Jester, and you tell yourself that the person would never get to know. But lo and behold, as they say, everything in the dark comes to light. So the lie you tell is coming back to haunt you. And you sit there and you're like, when you see the person and you're feeling bad, but that person know what I said about them, and you're all kind of anxious, you know. When you see them walking there, you turn in and go the other way. You're paralyzed with fear now that the person may say something to you. In the first place, you should not have to lie on the person. Because if you did not lie on that person, then you didn't have to worry about when you see them to go and hide or think about what you say, they get to know and all this kind of thing like that. In the sense, just tell the truth or say nothing at all. So you don't have to go through that unnecessary burden of hiding from the person or telling yourself that anytime the person see you, you expect them to say something to you. It's your guilty conscience that is doing that to you.
Yeah, that's a very important point that you bring up the clip. It's better you tell somebody, well, hey, I'm not in a position to do that. I cannot do that. I will not be doing that. Rather than you will tell them yes. And then when that time comes, you don't live up to your word.
Yeah.
Just.
I look at it as being disrespectful, you know. Because if you can't do it, just say, and if some of us do it to save face. You don't want to tell that person no. But practice to say no in front of the damn mirror. Stand up and say no. Not everything you have to say yes to. Because I believe, as I know Lorna, every time you say yes to someone for something that you don't want to do, you say no to yourself. And I refuse to say no to myself a lot these days. So I'm not saying yes to you for anything. If I can do it, I'll tell you, listen, that's not something I could do.
and I won't do it. I wouldn't have the time, and I'm not putting myself under any pressure to do this when I know it's not going to be beneficial for you, for me, and I'm in a state of mind. I'm saying no. Are you going to tell your children no? Tell them. Pretend to children you say no to and say no also. I don't say that in gas station. I say, you know what? If I had the time and so I could have, but I can't, so I'm sorry. That's it. But when you see them and you say yes and you're hiding on the face and that is
You don't make
childish.
Yes.
Just come out straight and say they may not like you the moment, but say what? Not everybody's out there to like you. End of story. So you believe, Jester, in practical rituals for peace of mind. And it says rituals can be powerful. They give structure, comfort, and predictability in our lives. Double checking is a mini ritual, a constant action that signals all is well to your brain. I like that part. It signals that all is well. Like, I lock the door and it said, just don't worry, the door is locked. So it gives you peace of mind and it tell your brain, oh, I don't have to worry, all is well. I locked the door, it's fine. But it's like I put away the money before I left, or I turn off the burner, or I turn off the gas, or I unplug that. All these are things that will give you peace of mind because you did that. So that's it. It says the APA has discussed, which is the American Psychological Association, has discussed how routines and rituals can strengthen our sense of stability in the home. That stability can be emotional too. By developing little practices like verifying the lock or tidying up a certain way, you nurture a sense of control over your environment. And there's no wrong there. If you like to keep your place clean, you will do certain things in your place to keep it clean. Right? It says, I've shaped my own home environment with minimalism and mindful routines, from how I fold laundry to how I arrange my yoga mats. These small habits create a steady rhythm. Double checking the lock may feel similar. You are reaffirming that your space is secure and inviting. Come into your evening. You're reaffirming that your space is secure and inviting calm to your evening. We're almost done, but this piece can't be overlooked. Sometimes people worry that rituals like this signal insecurity or obsession. In reality, it's not. It's only problematic if it causes you distress or disrupts your life. If you are at peace with verifying the lock, then it's simply one more self-soothing technique you use to navigate the world. So it's saying that what we see here can disrupt our lives. A lot of the habits or the rituals that we have, like checking the lock once, twice, it can distract us. But she's saying that if it causes you peace of mind, then there's no reason not to do it. If it disrupts your life, then you might find, well, let me see if I can do that instead of overlooking it. But it says, we're almost done, but this piece cannot be overlooked. Sometimes people worry that rituals like this signal insecurity or obsession. I am not insecure at all, and I'm not obsessed. But I want my door locked. I want my stove turned off. And there's no wrong in me going and check it to see. Sometimes I'm upstairs that night and I say, did I lock the door? I come down and I double check. And it's locked. And I go back upstairs and I'm good. So all these are things that we do on a daily basis. And if anyone out there is sitting and listening to us here and tell me or tell you, Jester, that they have not done this thing, I say you lie. I'm telling you, you lie because it may not be the door, right? It may not be the stove, but it may be other things that you have in your home that you double check. Especially if you have, like somebody give you $10,000 as a gift and you have it in your home. You did not make it to the bank as yet. Tell me you're not worried that, that $10,000 is sitting there. Every now and then you go and check to see where you have it to see if it's there. And you put it and you start to check. You start to check it over and over. Okay, 10,000 is there, you put it back. Every day until you get to the bank. Am I lying, just?
That what you would do?
I don't have $10,000.
My $10,000 is not here.
Oh God.
So I don't have to check anything.
No, I don't think I might check it every day.
Well, no, not every
But to be honest, I don't see how I would want to have that kind of money in my possession.
Well, like I said, you did, let's say there's on the weekend and you couldn't make it to the bank.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, listen, not only that, sometimes you walk in the road and you see an envelope bunched and you pick it up and you come home and you open it and it's money like crazy. You know it's not your money. And you know somebody lost that money outside there, but you have it there. And every minute you go and check to see if it's there, or you're feeling insecure now that somebody's going to find out, or somebody may have seen me pick up that money and know that they're coming to my house to get it. So all of these are things that disrupts our lives when it's not yours per se, especially money that you get on the road and you do not bring it to the police station and say, well, I got this $10,000 on the road. Because there's a thing, I don't know if it happens here, but there's a thing in Canada that if you walk in and you get like a large sum of money, you take it to the right thing is to do is to take it to the police station.
Mm.
And if after 3 or 6 months or so the person did not come to collect it, then they give the money back to you because you already find those people there.
Okay.
But sometimes
I don't think that might be happening here.
when people don't bring it in, that is it. But there are honest people that will, when they will bring it in, it's up to the police. But they have this thing that if they did not give it at a certain time, they will give it back to you because you already want to report it and stuff like that. Right? But even again, there's some people that lose money on the street. Somebody got it and they bring it to the police station and they announce that a certain amount of money was found in that area. So the person come to pick it up and the person say, I found it, they will give me a token of that to say thank you so much for appreciate you bringing any money because a lot of us are not honest these days. Jester, we'll see people drop money and wait till they go and just pick it up and it's fine. Let's keep it the funds on the ground, but the ground will make money. Somebody money dropped and if you know who it is, give it up. So these are things that people get worried about, that they have things in their house that is not legit and they worry about it and that could cause undue stress to them. We are coming up to the why. Final touch, Jester. Final thought. Double checking the lock can say a lot about you, how you see safety, responsibility, and the finer details around you. It doesn't mean you are paranoid or overly anxious. In many cases, it is just a tiny window into deeper personality traits, like being conscientious, empathetic, mindful, or even a bit of a perfectionist. Every action we take has the potential to reveal who we are and how we live. When we become aware of these patterns, we can harness them for good. There is power in knowing your tendencies and understanding why you do what you do. These moments, from quickly rechecking a lock to tidying a shelf, can become prompts for self awareness. They remind us that personal growth doesn't always come from huge life events. Sometimes it's found in the simplest routines, repeated day after day. If you ever feel the urge to confirm you locked the door, consider it an invitation. Use that moment to reflect on your habits, your mindfulness, and how you show up for yourself and those around you. And with that, here is to living intentionally, embracing who we are, and celebrating the small actions that keep our lives securely in place. Do you have anything to say about that?
And with that, here's to living intentionally embracing who we are and celebrating the small actions that keep our lives securely in place.
So, okay. So here it is. That's the final, the final thing. So here, as it says, we go over the points quickly as to what makes us who we are. The value safety over everything. Like locking the door keeps you safe. So don't look at it as, oh, I'm checking the lock because I have nothing else to do. It keeps me safe, and it's better to be safe than sorry. You are detail oriented. We heard from Lorna. Or when you do your stuff, like you write an email or you write a paper, and people say, oh, Lorna doesn't make mistake.
Of course, we all make mistakes, but going over what we do and
discover our own
removing the
mistake.
mistakes, we correct it, so we look flawless. We pay attention to detail, and there's nothing wrong with that. You embrace your responsibility. So if things happen around you, embrace it. Take responsibility for it. Be accountable for the things that you do. And don't always pass it on to someone else, or blame someone else for the thing that you're doing. You have a hint of perfectionism. I have that hint of perfectionism. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to own up to it, but I do. I like things around me to be at a certain way in place. So when I go for something somewhere, I know where it is. So I just go for it. So there's no wrong in you being that sort of perfect person. It's not that you expect everybody around you to be perfect. To some level, yes. If you're around me and you see the things that I do and how I lead, then you could take a page from my book and say, okay, this is how Claire likes things around her. So maybe I'll just help her along by doing the same thing that she does. So if I'm perfect, so be it, but I'm not old enough to it, but fine.
Then I'm going to walk out in the park with you.
With my warriors, my fitness warriors, yes. You see, that's that. Yeah. So we're working out and we're doing great. So let me tell you, everybody's getting to themselves and finding we are playing there, and that's good. You practice mindfulness. So be mindful of the things and the people around you. Things that are around you. Say you walk in the street and you see things, don't just blow by it and say it. Sometimes you see the most beautiful flowers when you walk in the street and not passing by and say that thing. But you know, you pay attention and say, I've never seen that one before. What flower is it? You don't go near because it could be a poison ivy or something. But there are things that you see and you pay attention to it. So if somebody else talk about it, you'll say, but you know what? I've seen this somewhere. So you have to be mindful of the people around you and the things around. You're empathetic to others fear. So you show empathy to people around you. So don't worry. Like if we're going out and I'm the last person and I just you could tell when a light bulb off in somebody's head and they see that and all of a sudden you know the whole body just go like that. And you say, okay, she remembers something. And I said, Jester, don't worry, I locked it up. So you put that person's mind at ease, they're at peace now knowing that their door is locked. So that is. You hold lingering worries but you manage them well. So sometimes you check the door, you check things around you, you let things paralyze you because you feel that you did not get it done. Don't be paralyzed by it. Ask yourself these questions. Did I do that? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? So before you become wrong, check to see that what you did is right. And that way, to verify what it is that you have the worry about, so you could move on. Then you believe in practical rituals of peace, like structure, comfort, predictability, double checking everything. You do as you psychoanalyze yourself. You see you have stability. You nurture the things around you. It shapes who you are, and so and there's no wrong in that. You're reaffirming your space is secure and inviting calm into your evening. So there are things that we have little problems with, but we don't make it big in the eyes of us. I'm sweating like crazy here, I said.
That's just a real
And they say they have oil coming in, they come and froth oil from my face. They don't have to go in the ocean and they just come by my face and trap all that oil. Sorry, like sweating crazy. And we have AC and we have fan, It's just fine. So these are things that we pay attention to. And it says in the final part of it, says things remind us of who we are, and the people around us will know who we are. So if you ever feel the urge to confirm your locked door, consider it an invitation. Use that moment to reflect on your habits, your mindfulness, and how you show up for yourself and those around you. And with that, here's to living intentionally, embracing who we are, and celebrating the small actions that keep our lives securely and in place. It is 3 minutes to the hour of noon. I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you that checked in on the live. Those who participated, we really and truly do appreciate you joining us every Tuesday where we have different things. And our goal here is to make you aware of things around you
so that you can be mentally able and stable to deal with your life on a daily basis. Want to sleep, man. You want to sleep? You should go to bed early at night. No. What do you have to say? Say it. Say it. All right, ahead. Oh my gosh. Well, of course, that's the third. We got to find a way of cutting down this program. And we cut me on to sleep, on to sleep. Anyhow, and it was a pleasure being here, my people, for yet another Tuesday to bring you Take Five, this mental health show, to edify you, uplift you. It's always a pleasure doing so alongside my co-host, Claire Francois. AKA CJ. Yeah, you go down. That cannot be Claire Francois. That is Claire Joseph. Claire Joseph, yeah. So, what about you? You are welcome. People are saying thank you so much for the program and, very good topic as always. We really do try to bring topics, not to say, to bring topics that people don't understand, because we are in the same boat and we are in a learning process. So every day in your life, we learn things. The biggest room in our lives is the room for improvement. So if anything that we bring here, it's not to look down at people or to talk down to people, it's to I just use the word to edify each and every one of us to be better people in our lives and to take control and responsibility for what we do. So we'd like to say thank you again. And before we go, let me give you the last beat of my new song that we love and we can dance. I just have to sing this because you know the word. Let's go.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say. Feeling heavy, you're not alone. Come take five, you're in the zone. Voices come, hearts that care. Two good friends always there. Let the sunlight in your mind. Peace and hope you're sure to find. I'll take with CJ and Jester. Talking truth and lifting pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon, we're holding space just for you. Take a breath, take your time. We're here to be your mind. Take five, you're not alone. See, they and Jester bring you home. It's okay to not be okay. Let's talk it out, don't drift away. Mental health, it matters most, so come in close and raise a toast to the ones who fight each day, to the silent words they never say. You're strong, you're seen, you're truly heard. We got your back, you've got our word. Oh, take CJ and Jester, talking truth and lifting pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon, we're holding space just for you. Take your time. We're here to be your mind. Take time. You're not alone. CJ and Jester bring you home. We laugh, we cry, we share the ride. No judgment here, just love. You've got a place right here to stay. So take five and heal today. Take five with CJ and Jester. Talking truth and lifting pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon. Big space just for you. Take a breath, take your time. We're here to your mind. Take time and home. CJ and Jester bring you home. Oh, oh, oh.
Okay, so we've come to the end of our program, Jester. Thank you so much for being here today. Local and all, but I do appreciate you showing up. Thank you, everyone. And hasta la vista. We'll see you all next Tuesday, same time, same place.